I can do it now.
As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it.
Do they always do that?
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
Well, does it have to do that here? Step closer.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
Let's look him over toe to head.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow.
I wonder how so.
These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
Right, yeah, those look like leggings.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
What kind of armor is this exactly? They kind of look like they belong on a knight.
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be. Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
What happened to the rest of it?
The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days. We should keep a lookout for these pieces. The armor could yield information. Maybe he'll know something.
If you wear those pieces, it will help me protect your mortal coil.
Why does my mortal coil need protecting?
Yes, bullets will fly. They always do. And the coil is fleshy and mush and permeable. Cast it in ceramic shell. Resist death.
Maybe he was just wearing these boots and there is no rest of the arm.
No, he must have worn something precious underneath his clothes. They've removed all his clothes to get to it. They did not just strip him for the putrid rags.
Then where are these clothes? Have you seen any around?
Someone could have cleaned the yard, but that's a question for the red-haired thing.
Yeah, that red-haired thing that shrieks unbearably.
I hear you, cop, talking shit about the Kuno. Come here and say it to Kuno's face.
Fuck you, Kuno.
You wanna fuck me, huh? You wanna fuck the Kuno?
What if they told him to strip before they hung him? To demean him?
They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre, the Mazda, the Besmerties and the like. This one still has his underpants.
Man, that's terrible.
What? Are you trying to ignore me now, fuckface?
Yes.
Kuno, this boots shit is super boring and the guy's a total vitupaz.
And calling me any number of pastas will not get me to stop. The material looks out of place here.
It is. It's expensive.
The lieutenant draws a line in the condensation on the ceramic with his index finger.
We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
6? Is the revolution still going on? How much are we talking about?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
Ka-ching, baby. What a totally appropriate response. That's a lot, I take it.
As a wage, it's regrettably small. But for a piece of hardware, yes, that's a lot.
How could this man afford such expensive hardware?
That's for us to find out. Mr. Gart implied he was security personnel for the harbor company. This confirms my own assumptions.
Initial report?
Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I'm sure you did the same.
Kim, I believe you overestimate me. And I'm not sure how you could, with all you've seen me do so far. These look pretty advanced for a security guard.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
I'm gonna knock on his foot.
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup. Suddenly, your biceps coil up. Your elbow is sharp and cocked for a punch.
Okay, now I'm gonna punch his foot.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. See?
So it is pretty good armor then.
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether.
Sounds like loot to me.
The stench fills your nostrils. As you push downward, an ominous creaking sound comes from above.
Stop!
The lieutenant's voice is sharp. He looks at you with the boot under your arm.
Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
It seems I'm about to dismantle a corpse in front of children, which I guess kind of figures considering how long it's been there. I will let go.
What's wrong with you, asshole? Why is he letting go, Kuno?
I don't know, baby. I don't know why he's such a...
Officer, if I may ask, what were you trying to achieve by pulling on the deceased foot?
Okay, I guess I can't answer him. I wanted armored toesies. Inspect the belt.
The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. Oh my, there's something on the belt. A familiar word that speaks to the thirst within you.
The thirst. What was that?
Vermilion, in yellow letters, along the length of the twisting cargo belt. Only a deep longing for vermilion golden spirits lets you decipher the fading logo of the local brewery.
I should get a drink.
No, you should not get a drink. You should perform an initial inspection of the victim's corpse. We are on the rope part.
What kind of rope is this?
Industrial strength. The kind used for tying cargo to lorries.
Like in a harbor?
Yes, it looks like they use whatever was on hand, paying no attention to not incriminating themselves.
We're assuming dock workers from the harbor did it then.
The brief suggested as much. Politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing?
My past has undergone total annihilation. Nothing remains. My mother, the love of my life, certainly not a briefing. Yeah.
Okay, you should ask me for one the first moment we get.
I mean, yeah, Kim. Did you see me before? I needed a hotel manager to describe to me why I need money. I feel like a briefing is something I've needed for a while now. They sure wanted him to stay there. The polyester seems strong.
It's not merely polyester. It's steel reinforced. See these lines? This is where the wires run. I see rabbits for more than 20 strands. This makes getting him down much more problematic than I had assumed.
How'd they even get him up there?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
He points to the buckle tying the belt to the branch above. Did they climb up using the kid's ladder? Point to the side of the tree.
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
Yeah, pulley physics will make hoisting anything a lot easier. Inspect the tattoos.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
Is this a map of the night sky?
A map of the stars. I do see some similarity to astronomical charts. Great Century Messinian, maybe. But this seems more particular. Customized somehow.
Oh, was he into astrology?
As if someone left out most of the night sky, filtering it through personal choice. The principle of this filter remains unknown to you. The thought dissipates, and you feel as though you were only half right.
My man probably has his personal constellation tattooed on his chest.
So am I.
What? A sudden ringing fills the air as the lieutenant pulls down the zipper of his orange jacket.
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears, some sort of camera.
What's that?
A Trigat Sunshine. Mini.
That doesn't answer my question.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
Kuno S? Did that name change? Was it always that?
An instant color camera.
You produces 2 metal-capped ampules and clicks them into place on the side of the apparatus. A thin slot shines there.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
He points the camera at the corpse, peering into it. The lens needs adjusting. Then,
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
In case we need it.
the lieutenant says and shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cold wind. On it, a color-perfect copy of the dead man's tattooed chest. Cool machine.
Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
There is only one ampoule left. Use it wisely.
What do we need this photo for?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter, to us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Can I have it? I should look at it later without the corpse smell.
Sure. Just don't lose it.
He hands you the piece of rolled up photo paper. It's no larger than a pack of cigarettes.
The glossy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Now I will inspect his eyes.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there.
Imagine just looking at a rotting, hanging corpse, and then just being like, funny bulge eyes. Lamau.
Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess.
I will consult my inland empire to tell me who this dead man is.
The corpse is dead silent. You have no idea why you just said that.
Because I'm a moron.
Who is he? He is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build.
The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself from its stench, eyes like a shark.
Squint and take a step back.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink.
Observe.
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
Kim, tell me why I'm squinting.
How should I know why you are squinting, officer?
His face and hands are pink. Thighs too. The rest is greenish.
Oh. You are trying to assess lividity.
I see, Kim, so now you're laughing at me for trying to do my job. Well, then maybe this is a one-person job. Perhaps I'll just leave you to do the...
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
So, what do you think?
I think he's dead. He's beaten up. See the
I do.
bruises?
Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
Nobody's asking you anything, Kuno.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
Oh, so it was Kuno. Something is coming out of him.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck he saying?
Talking about shit.
Could it still be he was moved after death?
I think he was upright immediately after death. Blood has gathered in his hands and feet, and his neck. The noose acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis here is in tune with the hanging. That's what I think. There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
I'll back off and catch my breath.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
So, how do we get him down?
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
I think we already looked at everything there was to look at. So, how do we get him down?
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt. The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting it.
Seems like a lot of hassle. Let's not do it. We could saw the branch.
Climb up there and saw the branch?
Yeah, it seems dangerous.
There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
Well, maybe we could shoot him down.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
Just shoot the belt. The bullet will break it.
It absolutely will not, officer. That's not how physics work. It will maybe cut one thread loose.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain the Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
Let me see. Are there any other options here? Because, like,
What else can we do?
maybe we can ask for help from the harbor.
I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appeared to be suspect in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down.
Confirmed. It's unsafe. But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt, like chicken on a skewer.
Can someone else do it?
Someone else? You mean like the police?
Yeah, exactly. Call the police. I mean, someone who's below detective.
Someone like a paid garbage man? Or a cleaning crew? I have bad news for you. That is a detective.
It seems I have been humbled.
I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down, fast.
Yeah, you should shoot him down then. No other way.
He breathes out heavily.
Oh yeah, do this shit! Fuck it up!
I'm just gonna let him choose. But then again, I do have high reflexes, right? I mean, I have really good motorics, so... What if I do it?
The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He appears too deep in concentration to even notice what you said.
Oh, well, I guess it's gonna be him doing it.
Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks, securing it in place. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
I will let him cook.
He's gonna fucking
My god, these...
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
"A lot of things were wrong with that shot. The fellow's test was the wrong choice. His shoulders were raised, but above all, he cannot trust his eyesight."
Oh.
fucking idiot! Mukabat asshole!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
That's okay, man.
Kuno's sorry too. Kuno feels sorry for the Beano clad.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
Try again, maybe?
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains uncompromised. Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I didn't do us any favors with that.
What now?
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
You know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
I mean, I have a 4 in physique and motor skills. Those are my best traits so far. So maybe I should try.
It's bad as it is, us shooting firearms like punks here. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't hit the victim.
I'm gonna need your gun for this.
They only have one gun!
Oops.
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Officer, why do we only have one gun?
Remember when I told you I didn't have my badge or uniform with me when I woke up? I didn't have my gun either.
That is even more unfortunate than the badge. You need to contact your station about it as soon as possible. Try not to lose this one, please.
Did you not hear the phone call I made in front of you? I was silent in terror.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana poika. Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth.
Oh, there is something else I would like to shoot.
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your fingers fit right through the guard, instinctively resting on the trigger.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth.
Kuno is silent. Aggression gathers in the air. The trigger feels delicate and ready to break under your finger.
Point the gun at the belt.
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
I have an even Steven chance of doing this. Oh!
A plume of smoke erupts from the barrel. Your hand goes numb from the explosion. With your ears still ringing, you lower the weapon to see what happened.
I shot... Oh god, I shot the corpse.
You missed the belt, but hit the corpse straight in the chest. Bits of ribcage protrude from the skin. No blood, only a murky sludge dripping down his belly. The sudden stink makes your eyes water.
Oh man, I'm taking all the morale hits today.
Despair creeps into you, getting fat on your weakness. Whatever noble intentions you once had as a police officer, it's eating them all up now.
Time for depression.
You're still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right?
I'm done. No one even likes cops.
Yes, it can be difficult to be on the receiving end of so much distrust and outright hatred.
He says with a sad half smile.
Nothing you can say would make you feel any better now. Cop gives up the detective genre for social realism. Another police officer resigned from the RCM following a nervous breakdown. He now lives under a bridge, drinking and occasionally throwing excrement at passers-by, shouting, "I never loved that woman." When asked to comment, former colleagues objected to the theory that his psychological disintegration was precipitated by his wife leaving him. "It's because the Furrows lost that match," said Captain Ptolemy Price, once the man's superior officer. "It's because he couldn't get a big gun from acquisitions, and anyway, police work really burns you out after a while," Satellite Officer Jean-Vic Mayer, the deranged former cop's partner, commented. Sergeant Matt Torson, another former colleague, did not propose any theories, merely saying, "Whatever happened to him wasn't about birds. He got fucked, that's all."
Wow. Feels bad, man. I'm having a bit of despair myself. And I didn't get through much. I'm gonna have to do another run of this. Whether it be trying again with that character, can I load again? I can. Or doing another one that's spec differently. But I'll probably just load back. I don't know. I gotta say though, it's pretty nuts that I could just fail a whole run like that. Because I didn't keep his morale up. I guess now I know how important that is in Disco. And him throwing excrement at people, shouting that he never loved that woman, is that actually his story? Maybe there's more to it than that. Or maybe the background changes depending on what I picked. Really though, failing the game like that really threw me for a loop. And felt pretty terrible. At the end of the day though, I guess it is pretty realistic. You know, because you should take care of your mental health. You should always make sure that you're doing things that build confidence and makes you happy and keeps you mentally well. Or else you will start throwing poop at strangers.